I'm glad to have you here. I'm Anita from Yoga on the Road. I have my own home yoga practice I have had for many, many years. Downward dog was one of those first poses or yoga forms, shapes that I really kind of played around with, and I found that it wasn't an easy pose for me. I struggled with kind of strength in my arms, mobility in my shoulders. I struggled with tension in the back of my legs. So there were so many elements of this pose that really did not resonate with me, and particularly when they called it a restorative pose. So we're going to break down that hopefully in the next 5 weeks. And I'm going to give you many options, little components of the shape that you might be able to play around with. So I do recommend for today that you have a block available to you. If you have access to a mirror, that can be really helpful for you to inform you of where your body is in space. It's often nice to see the shape, because seeing the shape and feeling the shape can sometimes be two very completely different things. Pop a do not disturb sign on your door. Make yourself unavailable to the outside world for the next 15-20 minutes or so. So set yourself up, grab your props, grab your do not disturb sign and whatever else you need, and I'll meet you on the mat on hands and knees. So just keep your block handy in front of you for the moment. Place your knees in below your hips. Place your hands, take your fingers nice and broad, shoulder distance apart and slightly in front of the shoulder line. So we're just going to gently move by creating some mobility in the hips and openness in the shoulders through some simple cat-cows. So as you breathe in, allow your breath to expand through your belly. As your breath expands, draw your belly down towards the mat, draw your shoulders back and look softly forward. As you breathe out, press down firmly into your hands, tuck your tailbone down, navel lifts up, chin tucks in. Breathe in, belly moves forward, heart expands, head looks forward, and you might gently start to add some rocking movement as you breathe out, round through your spine. You might even draw the shoulders out over the wrist just a little bit. So you've got this forward and backward momentum building. If you're feeling curious or playful here as you breathe in, you might dip your elbows a little as you round through your spine. And then as you breathe out, you might extend the elbows, drawing the shoulders forward over the wrists. There's no real right or wrong here. It's just feeling into your hips, allowing yourself to feel into your shoulders, and just familiarizing your body with the way it moves. Move with your breath a few more times, creating as much openness, mobility, strength. One or two more. And then with your conscious awareness, slowly make your way back to kind of this static tabletop position. Coming into child's pose, draw your big toes together, take your knees comfortably apart, and then shift your weight back as far as you can comfortably, kind of negating or being aware of any knee issues you have. So really listen to your body as you shift back into this shape and find a place that kind of supports you. It is a restorative pose, so we're aiming towards taking restorativeness away from it. Once you've found that position, let your head rest, let your mind rest. And as I normally start a session with awareness to your breath, do that right now. Bring your awareness to where you notice your breath moving you. You might feel or experience your inhale as movement outwards or to the side or backwards. As you breathe out, you might notice or feel that as a complete emptying of your breath. Don't strive too hard to change any detail of the breath. Just strive to notice and to be aware of physically how your breath moves through you. Mentally, you might notice its capacity to slow things down, to anchor your attention, to draw your awareness to yourself, to something, to a practice that happens so naturally that we rarely give it any thought. So just allow yourself a few moments to really connect to the way that your breath moves and supports you. After your next cycle of breath, and on an inhale, lift yourself up. Find a comfortable seat that supports you, so whether that's sitting back on your heels. If you have any knee issues, then you might like to sit in a cross-legged position. If that still aggravates your knees, then you could just prop your hips up on a blanket, extend your legs forward and grab your block. So we're doing a little bit of shoulder work. So take your block on this longest level here, and you're going to squeeze the block in between your hands. As much as you can, grip the block with the pads of your fingers and the pads of your thumb, and then extend the block out, so full arm extension here. Draw the shoulders back, so the shoulders are drawing in together. And then with each inhale, you're going to extend the arms all the way up and above the head. As you exhale here, start to bend the elbows, keep squeezing the elbows together, and just bring that block back in and tuck it in the nape of your neck. Push the head gently back in towards the block. Draw the ribs in, and then we're going to repeat that. So inhale, extend the arms up, exhale, extend the arms forward. Draw the shoulders back. I'm just going to change orientation here so you can see the shape of the elbows. As you breathe in, block draws up. As you breathe out, squeeze the elbows in towards one another as you draw the block down to the nape of the neck. Press the back of the head into the block. Inhale, extend up. Exhale, forward. You're going to move through that 3 or 4 more times. If you feel the shoulders really fatiguing here, then you can take a rest. Join back in when you're ready. feel them burning. I can certainly feel mine burning. Let's move through one more if you're still with me. Arms extend. The elbows bend. Draw them in towards one another. Inhale, extend. Exhale, lower. Give your arms a well-deserved rest. So you can use the block here if you want to support your head. Come into that child's pose. Allow your arms now just to rest down alongside you. Palms facing up. And again, bring your awareness back to your breath. Your all nourishing, supportive, nervous system enhancing breath. Enjoy it. Let it fill you. Let it soften any edges. Keep your attention anchored to your breath for another 4 to 5 rounds of breath. After your next round of breath, slowly position yourself back up to that now familiar tabletop position. And we're going to start to play around with downward dog. So remembering again, fingers wide, we're really going to press into the pads of the fingers and the knuckles of the fingers. Moving into our first downward dog, you'll tuck your toes under, press down firmly into the hands and just shift the weight back slightly. When the weight is shifted back slightly, press down equally and firmly through the hands and through the balls of the feet and start to lift your sit bones up towards the ceiling with a nice deep bend of the knees here. Let your body weight come forward so your shoulders move out over the wrists, and then we're lowering the knees to the ground. We're going to move through that a couple of times. As you inhale here, press down firmly into the hands, rock the weight back slightly. As you exhale, breathe and press down into the hands and feet equally as you lift and extend your sit bones up towards the ceiling. And then slowly lower all the way down. Next one, press down firmly into the hands, breathe in, shift your weight back, breathe out, lift and extend the tailbone toward, or the sit bones towards the ceiling. And then slowly lower the knees back towards the ground. Press and extend your right leg away from you. Tuck the toes in towards the shin and then connect the ball of the right foot down towards the ground. And then push the hands as though you're pushing the hands forward up the mat. And then you might feel that as a generous opening in the back of your right leg from the back or Achilles of the heel all the way over and along the calf. If that's too much, you can soften gently through the knee to take a little bit of that pressure out. This is kind of the feeling that or the openness that you're likely to experience when you're in the shape of downward dog with the legs extended. Inhale, lift and extend out through the right leg. Exhale, tuck the knee in towards the nose and lower the knee towards the ground. Moving towards the left leg now. So inhale, kick and extend out through the left heel. Draw your toes back in towards your shin. As you exhale here, lower the foot towards the ground. Press the ball of the foot into the ground and then have that feeling of pressing your hands forward up your mat. And then again, just experience that fairly strong sensation in the back of your left leg. Again, making any adjustments for yourself. If it's too much for you at the moment, add a slight bend to your knee. Inhale, lift and extend out through the left leg. Exhale, tuck the knee in towards the nose. Inhale, lower the knee towards the ground. Downward dog shape again. Tuck both toes under, or the toes of both feet under. Draw the body weight back slightly. Press down into the hands firmly. Press down into the balls of your feet as you lift your sit bones up towards the ceiling. This time, start to move the heels down towards your mat as you extend through the legs. Nice and slow with that process, just to allow yourself time to feel. Bend the knees a little and start to walk your hands back towards your feet. As you inhale here, slide the hands up the shins, past your knees, into the very upper thigh in that hip crease area, and then push the hips back as you extend out through the spine, lengthen through the crown of your head. And then if you have that mirror accessible, we're working or moving towards kind of this figure 7 shape with our body. Keep moving with breath. As you exhale, bend your knees generously. Let your hands slide down your legs. Let your arms hang long. Let your head be heavy. Let your spine be relaxed. Inhale here, and then exhale, you're going to walk your hands forward to plank position. Lower the knees to the ground. Lower your chest to the ground. Move any props, make any adjustments, and just take a moment to rest. If you're with me, we're going to move through that twice more. Bring your hands back beneath your shoulders. Options here, depending on your strength, depending on your personal practice. Options here are to move back to tabletop position. Stronger option is to move back to plank. And wherever you're at, move back into your downward dog shape. Remembering that we can start with the knees bent, particularly if you're practicing in the morning. There is every chance that everything will be a lot tighter, less resistant to openness at this stage. On your next exhale, slowly walk the hands back towards the feet, remembering that the knees can be nice and bent here. Let the head hang long as you inhale. Slide your hands up your shins, past your knees, all the way up to the top of the thighs. Bring them into that kind of hip crease area. Push into that hip crease, draw the shoulders back, extend out through the crown of your head. We're aiming to shape our body like the figure 7. Exhale here. Walk the hands forward to plank and lower all the way down. Breathe in, we'll pop a little back bend in here. Press the feet firmly into your mat. Press the pubic bone firmly into your mat. Lift and extend and open through the chest. Exhale, relax. If you're still with me, let's move through one more, taking your option tabletop or direct to plank position. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Find your comfort here. If you're working your heels towards the ground, then work them so that the heels are kind of jutted or pointed out a little bit. On your next exhale, walk your hands back to meet your feet. Inhale, let your hands slide up the shins, past the knees, into that hip crease, push the hips back, extend through the spine and the crown of the head, tuck the chin in slightly. Exhale, forward fold. Let the arms rest completely. Take a big sigh or exhale out here. And then grounding down through the feet, start to lift the heaviness of your arms, your neck, shoulders, all the way up vertebrae by vertebrae. The very top, roll the shoulders back, extend the crown of the head towards the ceiling, relax the arms. So that might mean drawing the palms to face the front. If you feel comfortable to, close down your eyes. Take a few breaths here. And then grab your block. We're going to get a little more playful now with the block and the wall and our downward dog and forward fold. So with your block, again, take it in that long shape, and you're going to shape your thumbs and your index fingers around the block. Take the block to chest level, find your wall, and you're going to place the block on the wall, securing it as best you can. Step or walk back till you find that figure 7 shape again with your body, and you may need to adjust the block here. So we're just recreating downward dog, but with the support of a wall. It takes a lot of the weight out of our shoulders, but it still gives us concepts or elements that we can practice downward dog. So in this shape here, think about turning your heels out slightly. That'll create an internal rotation in your legs, which we require for downward dog. Have a feeling of gripping or sliding your hands down the wall with the block in it, and that'll create an external or outer rotation in the arms. As much as you can, keep the ears in between the upper arms. Take 2 breaths here. Slowly walk forward. Grip your block. Inhale here. Lift the block up against or up towards the ceiling. Remembering how we started. Exhale here. Elbows shift up towards the ceiling. Neck moves in towards the block. You might need to step away from the wall just a little bit here. Bend your knees generously. Start to shift the upper body weight forward, and then pause for a moment. So we're only about halfway down. Inhale, keep extending out through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, still folding out over the hips as much as you can, lower the body a little more. There's going to be a point where your spine will naturally start to round. So keep moving with your breath. Think of the inhale as your lengthening element and your exhale as your softening component. And just come all the way down to a spot that's comfortable for you in a forward fold. It does not matter how deep your knees are bent to accommodate this. It doesn't matter even how straight your legs are to accommodate this. Press down firmly into the feet. Slowly start to lift the body all the way back up. Inhale, extend through the arms. Exhale, relax through the arms. So we'll do that one more time, and then we've got a playful modification. The playful modification is not for everyone. So if you feel that that's not in your practice, you will stay with this component of the practice. Let's move it through it one more time. Place your feet below your hips so they're hip distance apart. As you inhale, lift the block up. As you exhale, tuck it in behind the nape of the neck. Soften or bend deeply through the knees. Inhale, find length. Exhale, start to move forward, just bit by bit, stopping to give yourself the opportunity to feel and to notice. Keep moving with your breath. Find forward fold and how that feels for you. Take 3 breaths here. And again, you can let the arms relax if it's too much. Press down firmly into your feet. Inhale, lift all the way up. Okay, playful variation, because I love a bit of play. Remembering this might not suit everyone. It does take a level of trust in the support of the wall. So I'll just demonstrate it quickly. You'll inhale here, just as we've done. Exhale, place the block in behind the neck, almost at the top of the shoulders here. And then you'll bend your knees deeply. Now you may need to kind of pivot to the side, or just take a little step back, start to forward fold here, come into your complete forward fold, and then you might need to walk closer towards the wall. You're going to place the block on the wall and then shift your upper shoulders into the wall so that you're pushing all your weight into the wall here. If you feel comfortable to, let your hands relax. Knees can be deeply bent to support any tension here. And we're just hanging out on the wall. Great opener for the back of the legs. Take 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 more breaths here. And if you're free standing away from the wall, again, you're just feeling into the length and openness of your spine, the heaviness of your head, how the back of your legs are responding. If you're at the wall, grab the block, shift your weight back. You might even need to walk the feet back a little. Press down firmly into the feet, rise all the way up. You can take the block away from you now. We're slowly coming down into a wind down. So as you breathe in, lift the arms up. As you breathe out, soften through your knees, fold forward. Breathe in with a halfway lift, and again you can remind yourself of that figure 7 shape. Hip element, the lengthening of the spine element. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step the feet back, downward facing dog. Noticing any changes or differences now to your downward facing dog. When you're ready, you can lower your knees, bring your feet together, shift your weight back. Find your most supportive and restorative child's pose here. Find your way back to your most nourishing breath here. Take a moment to acknowledge yourself. Take a moment to acknowledge the source or the part of you that brought you to this practice today. If you have a little longer in your practice, you might like to set up a space where you can switch on some music. You can practice your own shavasana or body scan or breath awareness, something that is able to support you in anchoring your attention. I encourage you to like or subscribe, particularly if you'd like to join me on more playful explorations of not just downward dog, but a whole lot of other elements of play. I try to encourage it wherever I can. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste. May all beings everywhere be happy, safe and free. From my heart to all of your hearts.